Hey guys, what is up? It is Bib07 here again, and welcome to another RuneScape 3 vlog here today. In this video, we're going to be talking about this week's update, as well as the couple things that I have missed since I have been away for a little bit of time. Before we jump into things, I do want to just give a little update on what's been going down. Pretty much, if you haven't seen my community post, basically I was moving into my new house, and as a result of that, I did not have internet for a couple of days there, and I've just been quite busy moving things, not have much time to make any videos, but pretty much mostly settled in at this point. I've got the internet, of course, set up, got my desk, my PC all set up as well. But another thing that also slowed me down a bit was I did just recently do a fresh install of Windows onto my PC because I've still been having intermittent issues with blue screening. Last time I reinstalled Windows, it fixed it for a little while, but it's come back, and it is typically with the same error code of WHEA uncorrectable error. And I've tried looking into it, not too sure exactly what could be causing it. I think it might have something to do with my RAM, so I've gone ahead and ordered some new RAM. It gets here tomorrow, so hopefully that will resolve my issues. I plan on getting a new PC whenever the 3090s become more widely available, hopefully sometime early next year. But until then, I'm hoping the new RAM will fix it. If not, I guess it must be the CPU, and in that case, I'm pretty screwed because I don't think I want to get a new CPU for this old computer. And I did already get a new SSD, so it is not that for sure. Anyways, enough about me. Pretty much back to normal here, and moved into this new house with the internet and everything set up, so it should be back to normal videos as you might expect. So, without further ado, we'll go ahead and get into what we have missed, I guess. There wasn't a whole lot that was happening in the past couple of weeks that I have missed, but the main thing is the achievement system sort of rework. They didn't really rework the entire system or anything. It's mainly, as far as I can tell, the underlying code and things behind it that they rewrote completely. And from reading Reddit, it does seem there are some issues with it. Nice to see that I've completed all these area tasks. You know, I thought they had done away with the green quest icon for the task sets, but it is here. And then we can have show completed. Nice little congratulations right there. But yeah, I mean, it seems okay to me, just briefly glancing at it here, but interesting. It hides even the completed when you, like, in the actual task itself. That's a nice little touch. But yeah, I mean, just my quick little breeze through it, it seems to be working fine, but I've seen there are quite a few like issues in there that need to be addressed. But I'm glad they made this change because they said that this will make it much easier for them to add more achievements in the future, which I think would be great to have on the for the game going forward. So yeah, that's pretty much that as far as I can tell. I don't think there was a whole lot else in that week that I missed. Of course, we are currently in double XP. I don't really have anything I want to be doing on double XP here. And sorry to this guy, I'm going to just turn my private chat off because I don't want to be typing in the middle of the video. I'll respond to him later on here. But yeah, the only skill I have is like archaeology and farming. I don't know, I just don't really feel like training those at the moment. I went pretty hard on the last double XP with my herblore, so I mean, this one's so soon after. I still think that they do them too often with 4 a year, but what can you really do? I think that is the thing that they're going to be sticking with, and this one they probably really wanted to do to sort of entice the Steam folks who maybe have started playing to stick around longer and give them a little boost to get started to get them into the game. But yeah, that is going on until the 16th. I think it's 10 days, right? I'm trying to, I don't know why I have that in my head. Yeah, November 6th to the 16th, and we'll have that available. I'm sure most of you have already been grinding away at it as it's been live for 3 days now. That was the other thing they mentioned there. And then they also have revealed the release date for the construction update that we did know was coming from their previous stream that they had. The construction contracts is going to be coming on November 16th. So that is next Monday. I'll of course be covering that in a video. Only need level 40 construction to get started. And it does seem, I mean, it's kind of interesting to me, a less intensive and less expensive way to level up your construction skill. So that just goes to assume that it's going to be bad XP. But well, you know, how bad is it going to be? We'll have to see, because it might be worth doing if it's, I mean, construction absolutely sucks right now. And they say it's similar to mahogany homes from old school, but if I'm honest with you, I have no idea what that is. I'd have to look into it on the old school side of things, but I do not know what that is. Hopefully it's a good update though. I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, that is pretty much it for the last week. And now this week is Ninja Strike number 14, actually, which I wasn't really expecting to see Ninja Strike, maybe not until the week following the construction update here, but we did get one. However, I mean, there's not a ton of changes here. The main one that they've kind of headlined is the added wiki functionality. So if you didn't know before, you know, for a long time now, I don't even remember when this came out, but you've been able to type /wiki into the chat and then say like Telos, and then you can't see this, but my browser just popped up and it has the wiki article for Telos, pretty much. It's a pretty nice little feature. I actually honestly didn't use it, even though I use the wiki all the time. I would just go to Google and do rs.wiki and then type my search. But I'm sure people did use it. Now it's a bit more obvious because they have this new button here, and I'm gonna be honest, this button's kind of ugly, and you can actually disable it if you want, but you can just click it, and then whatever you type in here will be as if you had typed /wiki. It's pretty much the same functionality, just a bit more obvious and in your face for maybe people who didn't know it was there. Like if you weren't around when the /wiki update came out, you really would have never thought of even trying that, and I don't think it's really mentioned in the game anywhere, so not a bad thing to have it in, especially since you do have the option to turn it off. Now, where that is within this sea of menus is anybody's guess. I assume it would be somewhere in interfaces, unless there's a chat. Messages and social could be. Chat customization, wiki button visibility. Look at that. I somehow deciphered the settings. So what happens when I turn that off? It just disappears. Because I feel like this bar where my chat is and my name is a little bit bigger as a result of that, and I guess it's just going to stay that way. Not really have an opinion on that either way, but just something I noticed. So you can turn that off here if you want. I'm probably going to have it off because I think it's a bit ugly. I don't think I'd ever actually use it myself, but I'm sure it'll be useful for some people. And then the other updates they have are mostly general QOL they have here. So the first one is one that apparently a lot of people have been asking for a long time, pretty much since deep sea fishing came out, and that is to be able to combine your half-eaten blue blubber and I guess the green ones as well, the jellyfish. Do I even have? I don't even have any. Okay, so I cannot show that exactly at the moment, but I mean, you get the idea. It's basically the same as decanting potions. You just are able to take, you know, you have a jellyfish, there's 3 bites of it. If you eat 2 bites and then you end up finishing the boss and going to bank, you'll have that 1 bite go into your bank. And now if you have 3 1 bites or like a 2 bite and a 1 bite, you can now decant your jellyfish back into whole versions. And while it doesn't really make much physical sense, it's just a nice convenience thing for people. And you never really wanted to bring those smaller portions with you, and they would just sit in your bank wasting away. But as you can see right here, combined jellyfish is now an option, and apparently it's just hilarious that I don't have any to combine. But you can do that here at War, and I believe they also have it at the Deep Sea Fishing Hub for whatever reason, as if you'd ever really go there if you're just trying to do that. But they've also added a nice little thing to Menaphos's fishing locations, or yeah, basically the fishing locations. The deposit boxes that are located near them now have an option to deposit all fish, just like the ones at the Deep Sea Fishing Hub had added a couple of months back, I believe. I'll just head over there as I'd like to show where it's at exactly. You know, I never noticed this Acron mammoth chilling here in Menaphos, but yeah, this is a nice thing because usually at these fishing spots unless you've done enough activities in your prawn perk aquarium place such that you don't need bait. You will normally have bait with you on these things, and even if you don't have bait, you'd still have to open up the inventory and then click to deposit it. Now I do have a bank box here, but I can even do it with the bank box. So you're fishing and then you just right click. I guess I'll catch a couple fish to show it off. I should have the no bait perk, yeah. So you're fishing, you catch your fish, and then you just right click, deposit all raw fish, and you'll just run over and they'll just all go in your bank, and then you can go back to fishing without having to deal with any interfaces or anything like that. And let me get this fish out of my bank. But yeah, that's a nice little change as well. I do a lot of Menaphos fishing for mid-levels, so it's definitely a place that people do train their fishing at. So I think that's a nice thing to have added there, make it a bit easier. And that's everything they had on the main update page. Also, apparently a new person has joined the Ninja team, which is good to see. Hopefully we'll be getting some more updates from them in the near future. They also have announced that they're going to be doing a live stream tomorrow on Tuesday, as they usually do, and that's going to include some sneak peeks of the new construction update. So looking forward to seeing that. They've also made a change to the Oddments store here. So this is, if you don't know, this store, you can go here and buy stuff with your Oddments, which you get from basically doing treasure hunter keys. And they've made it so that the items in here are now limited per day. So I don't know if it'll say, it doesn't seem to have any indication of that limitation in the store itself, but basically the lamps, you can only buy 30 lamps per day, 50 stars per day, 40 pulse cores, 40 cinder cores. Like, a lot of these have the limit, but it's like that's not really going to be reached by someone in a typical day unless they've saved up a ton of oddments to begin with. The other things that have limits: small protein pack 30 per day and keys 30 per day, which obviously will reset at the daily reset along with everything else. I don't really see the reason for this aside from preventing people from abusing their exploits that seem to be super common with their treasure hunter promotions. They just have really had a bad reputation in the past year for their treasure hunter promos having some sort of exploit involved that people can just easily abuse, typically involving oddments as well. So this will prevent them from having to do too much testing, which I know they clearly don't like to do. But yeah, that is that. I don't really have too much to say on it, to be honest. I don't think it's that big of a change, and I hope they do more to balance the game. That's one thing that people were memeing on pretty hard, is that in the note where they talked about this, it says, as parts of our ongoing efforts to balance the game, the following oddment store items are now subject to a maximum daily cap. I mean, talk about balance the game when you have this. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous that they would even say that. But yeah, that's everything on the main page, but there were a couple of little nuggets in the patch notes that I think I probably would want to mention as far as the Ninja Strike additional things goes. Parsley and jellyfish thing is nice. You can now buy multiple things from the Herbie Werby shop by right-clicking on the items in the shop, like you can at most places. One thing that's pretty nice, you'll no longer lose all of your mech chins on death, so you don't have to worry about only bringing a few and then possibly running out if you're, I don't know why you would ever run out, but you don't have to worry about bringing a big stack of them anymore and losing them all on death. Robin in Port Phasmates, who gives you a buff from the Mauritania task. It's not a buff, it's a little perk, actually. I'm not 100% sure which level of the tasks requires this, but I can go ahead and show it off. I'm also not sure how many I can do, so I'll just bring all of them while I'm at it. Ectofile here. But basically, you can give him some bones each day to turn them into bone meal, and he'll also give you the slime to go along with them that you'd... Whoa, that was weird looking. But that will give you he'll also give you all the slime to go along with them to use it on the Ectofunctus. And then the issue with it before was pretty much that you would have to do it one at a time, and it had to be unnoted. But they've now made it so he does them all at once, and the bones can even be noted. So let's see. Oh, there's no right click, which is not best. Ask for bone meal and slime. And let's see. I can do 39. Oh, I can just use them on him, okay. Convert all bones of this type. Yes. And look at that, just easy as that. I get 39 bone meal and 39 slime. It's very nice and convenient now, and I would say probably worth doing if you're trying to train prayer, because the Ectofunctus is it might even be more XP than a Gilded Altar. I'm not 100% sure, but it is very good XP, I would say, and definitely worth it to do that. I think it is daily. I'm not sure though. Maybe. Does this actually link to the RuneScape wiki? Oh, it does. They have links in the patch notes to the RuneScape wiki, actually. That is very nice. Okay, so Mauritania Legs 2 is what you need for the minimum, where he'll give you 13 a day, and then 26 for the Mauritania Legs 3, and then when you have the Mauritania Legs 4, he will, of course, do the 39 that I got, and that is each day. So you can do that daily, and I mean, it would add up pretty quick. Obviously, once you get to this level and have the Elite done, you probably won't need it as much, but even getting the hard tasks done isn't too hard, and I would definitely recommend coming here and exchanging your bones, especially on like Iron Man before you get to Prif. Would be really nice to have this available, and yeah, pretty big fan of this change. Little one that might have snuck past you if you weren't being careful reading those patch notes. Let's see, was there anything else in here? General QOL stuff that was also in there. Small changes to the Virelords and stuff in the Slayer dungeon, not very important. They have a bunch of stuff in here about Tutorial Island, which I thought was strange to see, but nothing in there that I thought was super impactful. Changed some people's names, stuff like that, not a whole important. The Orthan Dig site had a couple things. You can now buy noted time-worn tinctures from the shop for making one of the new Herblore potions. I guess that's nice. They also say that the Lorehound pet will now provide an increased chance to find lore pages while excavating, which is something everyone thought it did at the release of Archaeology. And this is listed under Orthan Dig site, but I assume that applies across the board for Archaeology, which is a nice little change. They've marginally buffed the Power Burst of Opportunity to last 15 seconds instead of 9.6. Still doesn't seem that great at all to me. And that's pretty much it. Then they have a big section of all the fixes for the achievement system rework. Like there was a bunch of things that were updated and fixed from the issues last week. So maybe some of those issues that cropped up that I wasn't able to find very quickly were already fixed. I'm not sure, but hopefully there is a more achievements to come in the near future now that they have that all reworked and fixed. But yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. That's all they had for this week. Not too bad of a week, but not the best Ninja Strike we've ever had. Not a whole lot of changes on there at all. They've kind of been seemingly lowering the amount they have in the Ninja Strikes, but upping the frequency of them, which, you know, either or is fine. It's less of the complete nothing weeks, I guess, and we get more small little bite-sized fixes and improvements in between the bigger monthly updates, which I am enjoying the monthly style. I think that it is working well. I hope they continue with it going forward. You guys can let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Glad to be back here making the videos once again, and I'll be sure to continue with the updates as they come out, and I hope to get back on my hardcore series quite soon. Hopefully, I'm still working on some other side goals that I'll be mentioning in the future as well. But yeah, maybe return to streaming at some point soon as well. Not too sure about that yet. But either way, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.